So yes, as you see, I titled today Unrealistic Expectations, but not in the way in which we've covered it before, right? Unrealistic expectations as far as I did this video the other day and I said, how can you expect somebody to love and respect you more than you love and respect yourself? And that is what I mean by an unrealistic expectation. And a lot of people have unrealistic expectations because you want somebody to do more for you than you do for yourself. There's a lot of people out here looking for relationships, and you're looking for this partner to be this perfect person, yet you yourself have not addressed issues within yourself. So you yourself are somebody who, you don't work out, you have a horrible diet, you're not trying to lose any weight, you don't go to the doctors and get regular checkups. And see, that matters. It matters in a relationship because when you don't take care of your health, you become a liability, right? Because it is proven statistically that, health insurance is higher and you pay more for clothing when you're overweight, So in that particular area, if you're somebody who that applies to, you haven't done the work on yourself in that area. And yet you're looking for certain things from someone else, right? But you're not looking at your own liabilities that you are bringing to the relationship. So that's one. Then you have financial literacy, right? Many of you have no financial literacy, and instead of taking the time to learn it, you focus on stupid stuff like 50-50 and who should be paying what and whether or not it's worth taking somebody on a $200 date. First of all, most of y'all that debate this type of stuff, let's be real here. You're not going on $200 dates, right? So if you're not focusing on your own financial literacy, your own understanding of what money is, your own understanding of how money works, your own understanding of how to make more money and multiply your income, how to monetize everything that you touch. If you're not taking the time to learn that about yourself, why are you looking for a partner that has X amount of money and makes this much income? Because what value are you bringing to the relationship? Obviously, they know how to make money. Clearly, they have financial literacy. They're the ones that's making the money. That's why you want them. So what are you bringing to the relationship, right? What are you bringing? What have you done to fix that within yourself? Y'all want somebody that's calm, cool, and collected. You want somebody that can communicate effectively, but yet you yourself don't know how to communicate effectively. You yourself don't understand how the opposite sex operates emotionally, because men and women operate completely different, which is why so many of you struggle. This is why so many of you struggle, because you have no idea how the opposite side operates. And you keep trying to attach how you approach your emotions and how you approach problems and how you approach everything with the mindset of your particular gender. And you keep applying that to the other gender. And it's never, ever going to work in your favor when you do this. So again, you want somebody who can handle your emotions and understand you and understand your emotions, but you have not gone to therapy. And even if you don't go to therapy, you haven't talked to anybody, right? You just hold everything inside and you let everything fester. And even though you don't think that those things are projecting, oh, they certainly are. They're projecting. You don't think so. But for those of us on the receiving end of it, yes. All of those things that you think you're holding down deep inside, it has to come out somehow, some way. It's going to manifest in your behavior. So yet you haven't dealt with those things yet you want somebody that can come understand you and take care of you, but you haven't even taken the time to take care of your emotions and your traumas, but you want somebody to come in and be able to handle your emotions and your trauma. You don't even handle it. You suppress it, right? You don't take the time to learn anything, to become more intellectually stimulating. I don't know if this is a troll or not. And I'm not sure if you're trolling or not. And if you are trolling, I promise you, I'm not doing this tonight with none of y'all. I've already blocked one person. I'm going to block you. And since we're here, let me go ahead and just pause so I can do the disclaimer. Since I kind of jumped into it tonight, let's pause and do my disclaimer. So first things first, I don't care what you believe. I don't care what your spiritual beliefs are. I don't care, right? But your spiritual beliefs, oh yeah, see, you're definitely trolling. You're definitely trolling. So we'll go ahead and get you out of here. Don't have time for that shit. So I don't care what your beliefs are. You believe what you believe, right? But your beliefs are your beliefs. And your beliefs do not apply to everybody else. And everybody else is not obligated to live their lives according to the laws and the beliefs of your particular spiritual system. It's like 4,000 different religions out here, right? So if you are a Christian, and I'm specifying that because it's 99% of the time, the Christians that come make comments about the Bible and God, right? That only applies to you and your life. So it holds no place in this discussion because it only applies to your life and your God. And the same way how you want everybody else to respect your spiritual beliefs, then you as a Christian should respect everybody else's decision and their belief if that's not what they believe in, because your rules only apply to your life, not everyone else. Okay? So please, if you're going to contribute to the conversation, leave your spiritual beliefs out of it. Okay? That's number one. Number two, AJ?
We grown. Let's keep the conversation grown. This conversation is not about pointing the fingers. Well, he did this and she did that. Well, what about this and what about when she do this? That's not what we're here for. We're here solution-based conversation. If you're gonna do something like that, please make it contribute to the conversation effectively. Please explain so we can talk about it. But the pointing of the fingers, what this person do it, or the trolling in the fucking comments like dude just did, just to have like, I'm looking at this page right now. This is terrible. We grown. Okay,
I
that
saw
ain't
how
grown
fast those
people shit.
comments were coming. I was like, okay, you playing with me. You got to go. I don't have time for this tonight.
We grown over here. That ain't grown people shit. A grown ass man going into people's lives just to troll and talk junk. We grown over here. Let's have grown people conversation.
Yes. So again, back to the unrealistic expectations, because this is not gender based, right? This is not gender based at all. This is people. This is humans, and this is human behavior. And so if you've never participated in my lives or seen any of my TikToks, pretty much everything I talk about, I speak about it from a psychological aspect, right? And no, I'm not a therapist or psychologist, but I am a psych nurse. And I have studied psychology, like self-studied, since I was 18 years old. So my whole life, I've studied this and studied people in general and behaviors, because it's always interesting to me the whys behind human behavior. Why do people do the things that they do, right? I've never been the judgmental type, because I can't judge you for choices that you made when I don't know what your mental state was at that time. I don't know what you were dealing with. I don't know what you were going through. I don't know what two options you had to choose from, right? So I'm not the type that judges people for that type of stuff. I'm always curious about, well, why did you do that though? Like, what was your reasoning? What were you thinking? What was the driving force behind that decision that made you come to that choice? What happened when you were like, this is what I'm gonna do? Right? So I've studied people for a long time. And that's why I say this is not a gender thing. Well, thank you. Yes, he says you're so nice. You were attacked and you explained yourself calmly and clearly. Nice. Yes, because as I've stated before, your character can never change my character. See, if I'm not a disrespectful person, then you being disrespectful will not make me become disrespectful. How you choose to address me has absolutely nothing to do with how I respond to you, because you don't control me. So just because you get out of line and want to come up here and cut up a fool, that doesn't mean I'm required to react that same way, right? Because why would I step down to meet you on your level? Look at how you're acting. Why would I want to interact with you like that? I'll just get you gone. For what? I don't have to do that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be the other fool that's going to argue with a fool. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't have time for that type of stuff. So But yes. So again, psychology, I've always been fascinated with it and people and understanding people. So I observe behavior. And being a nurse, I've been able to sit at the nurse's station and I listen to a lot of conversations. And I was raised by men. And I've always been around men. Like I've always been the chick that hung out with men just because that was a comfortable energy for me because I was raised by a single father, right? And my older brother. So I'm just like one of the homies. It's very comfortable. But being a nurse, I'm around a lot of women and I listen to a lot of conversations and I worked third shift for years. And then in my personal life, I'm cool with a lot of men and, they tell me a lot of personal stuff. So I learn a lot and I observe these behaviors and I just listen and I apply all of the psychology that I have learned over the years. I apply it to what I see in the interactions that I have with people. And I'm like, oh, wow. And sometimes you hear the same type of stories over and over and over again. You can start applying these different concepts and it's like, interesting. And then I went backwards through my own life and my own history and my own, the things that happened to me and started piecing things together in my life and connecting all the dots of like, oh, that's where all of this originated from that moment when I was a child. Isn't that something? Right? I've been able to undo so much. It's ridiculous. I analyze everything. Even my man, I tell him all the time, I'm like, listen, you can't really hide anything from me because when issues come up in our house and we don't really have arguments, but when something happens and it's like, okay, well, clearly this was a problem. Let's talk about this. And I'll see something and I'm like, okay, well, why did that bother you? Well, where did that come from? And it just turns into a therapy session because that's what I do. So, we have to, I do this with everybody. So with him especially, I'm like, you can't hide anything from me. So again, the unrealistic expectations. And the reason why these expectations are unrealistic is because so many people are not honest with themselves. So many people lie to themselves. And it's wild because you can see the flaws in everyone else, but you refuse to see them in yourself because you tell yourself that you're so much better because you look at those that's below you, that you perceive to be below you. You perceive them to be below you. And you look down on them and you have decided that because you're so much better than these people that you're looking down at, you don't actually look like around you or above you and realize, oh, there's still more work for me to do. Maybe I'm not as good as I thought. Maybe I'm just maybe a little more further ahead than these people that I keep looking down at. But perhaps if you picked up your eyes and actually looked around you, because when you're only looking down, you're only concerned with yourself. You're only concerned with yourself. If your gaze is always like this and you're always looking down at everybody, you have no idea what's going on around you in the world. You have absolutely no idea what's happening in the world around you because you're so focused on looking down. And then you sit here and you talk about all these relationships and you talk about men ain't this and women ain't that and men ain't this and women ain't that. But yet there's still all these people around you and above you who are nothing like these people that you keep discussing. And it's because you yourself haven't even done the work to be in these circles over here because you're so busy looking down. So when I say unrealistic expectations, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. Unrealistic expectations. Because you want the person that has actually done the work and is sitting up here. You want that person. And you think, because you say, I know my worth. And you say, oh, I'm high value. You say I'm the prize. You say they got to earn you. But that's only because you keep looking down here and you feel like you're above. But that person up here is looking at you the same way. They're up here looking at you the exact same way. Because you have not done the work on yourself. This is why you have these unrealistic expectations. And that also goes along with the I'm going to use this as an example, but I'm going to get to them bros in a minute because they're an example. But The women who come from low income neighborhoods. And not that there's anything wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Those of us that have either escaped that or did not grow up in that understand that when you come from a low income area, it comes with a certain mentality. It comes with a certain lifestyle. It comes with certain behaviors. And that's going to happen on every income level and cultural level. Everything comes with, it has its little nuances, right? It's got its little rules. We all know there's different rules. Okay. Just like when you go to the South, the way you interact with people in the South is a little different than in the North. It is how it is, right? So if you're somebody that comes from a lower income, that's a whole different lifestyle. So if you as a woman are in that particular lifestyle, you grew up in that, and you're sitting here saying that you want this man that makes, you over, 6 figures, and you want this CEO type man, well, honey, that's unrealistic, only because that is a whole different world. It's a different lifestyle. It's a different everything. You don't have that type of money and move the way that people move in low income areas. So if you don't understand that mentality, how do you think you're going to get in those circles? And then you shun the men that are around you that actually are on your level. The ones that, and this is what Kevin Samuels was talking about when he said, what's wrong with with the average guy? What's wrong with the working man? What's wrong with him? Because in actuality, for a majority of people, that is your level. Does it happen sometimes that certain people get out of it and they meet someone in these other areas? Yes, but those people also understood you got to act a whole different way. It's a whole different attitude. It's a whole different mindset. It's a whole different behavior. And just like I said, your bros, the bros, unrealistic expectations. And because I'm not going to go off into it, because I'm not going to go on a tangent about them guys. I really don't care. But it's just the example of the mentality. It's the mentality. And I'm not saying all of the passport guys, because I don't know, but the ones that are creating problems, it's that mentality. Because unrealistic expectation, these particular gentlemen that have that mentality, you didn't take the time to really learn about the cultures in these countries that you're going to, and you thought that you could go over there and act the same way that you act here. You thought that you could go over there and treat those women and talk to those women the same way that you do here in America, and it's not the same. You playing a whole different game when you in another country, and if you didn't have enough respect to learn their way, unrealistic expectations. And so many people, the conversations that I see on social media, it just blows my mind, because it's like, y'all are so self-righteous and so high and mighty, as if you've reached this God level of perfection. And it's wild, because I would love to know what y'all measure yourselves up against. I would love to know what this measuring stick is that y'all use that allows you to feel like you are perfection and you have nothing about yourself that you don't need to improve, that you are just this gift that no one has ever seen before. I'm just curious where this comes from, because what makes you think that you don't have anything about yourself that you don't need to fix? Self-improvement, that's a growth. It's a continual process. There's no end to that. There's no end to healing. There's no end to, becoming a better version of yourself. Because even when you've healed from something, there's still going to be a deeper layer to it. And you'll think, you know what, I'm past that. I've gotten over that. And it'll be 5 years down the road. And something random will happen and it will trigger an emotion related to that particular event. And you'll be like, damn, I thought I healed from that. But it was another aspect to that particular experience and another lesson that you had to learn from that particular experience. It's just going to hit you in a different way. And it's like, oh, wow. Okay. I thought I healed from that. But yeah, I needed that. I needed that. Okay. Whew. They measure themselves against the women in competition. I don't know. And when I say the measuring stick, I'm not even just talking about women. Because understand, this is not just about women. This applies to men as well. This applies to men as well. I put up a tweet the other day because I was just thinking about some things, right? Because my son is 21, and so we talk often, and I talk to him a lot about, improving himself and becoming better and identifying things that I did when he was younger that might have hurt him, so we can talk about it, so he can heal. I'm like, don't allow this type of stuff that I did when I didn't know any better. Don't let it, mess up your relationships as you get older and move into, adulthood and everything. Like, let's deal with this. So we talk, and we always talk about it improving. And as we were talking, I said to my son, I said, ever since I was young, when men are interested in me, I always ask a very simple question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? I can't even count the number of times a man told me, I don't know, never thought about it. And I said to my son, I wonder where those men thought they were going to lead me. Where the hell you think you're going to lead me, sir? I just asked you where you see yourself in 5 years, and you just told me, I don't know, never thought about it. What? Meanwhile, I've always had a plan. I know exactly what I'm trying to do. I know where I'm trying to go. I know what goals I'm trying to achieve. Boom, boom, boom. And one by one, I have knocked them off the list. Anybody that knows me in real life will tell you, anytime I have said, I'm going to do this, I did it. I don't care how hard it was. I don't care how much fight I had to give. Every single thing that I have ever set out of my mouth and said that this is what I'm going to do, I have achieved it. And much of it I achieved alone, right? So it's not just women that have this God measuring stick that they're using. This is not gender specific. And see, this is part of the problem because everybody sits here and keeps looking at the other gender. And it's like, no, this is not a male-female thing. This is a people thing. This is a people thing. Because like I just said, all of these men that feel like they're these great men, but if I sit here and I ask you, and as a woman, I'm asking you, where do you see yourself in 5, 10, 15 years? And you don't even have a plan for your own damn life? What the hell makes you think I want to be with you? You don't even have a plan for your life. You don't even know what you're doing or where you're going. You don't have no type of goals. What the hell I want with you? And this isn't even just since I was young. This is even after my divorce and I started dating again in my 30s. And men still answered, I don't know, never thought about it. How in the are you 30, 35 years old and you still don't know what the hell you doing in the next 5 years? Excuse me? And then you got the nerve to get up on this internet and beat your chest talking about women won't submit? To what, sir? To what? Stop it. So it's not just women that have this godlike stick that they're comparing themselves to and feeling like they're the greatest thing ever. Oh, it's not just women. Oh, no. How Cat Williams say, oh, no. Oh, no. Not just women. The same way how I have said time after time, the biggest issue that most of you men have with women is the fact that you do not understand a woman's emotions. That's the biggest issue y'all have. And it's always, and I can tell which men don't. Because it's the way you talk and the way whenever I say that y'all respond. And I know that y'all are the ones that have the biggest problems with women just based on the way you respond when I say you don't know how to deal with a woman's emotions. Because the ones that get angry when I say that, the ones that then come attack me, the ones that say it's not my job to care about a woman's emotions. Oh yeah, I already know. I already know what your love life look like, baby. Oh, see, there's one already. I just said it because y'all be the most frustrated because you can't get the
I
results
got
that you
I
want out
got a
of women.
question for that. I got a question for that, Mr. Rust Rut. You say nobody got time to decipher emotions like it's some type of computer code. We're not talking about some woman you just playing with, sir. We're talking about your woman. So you don't have time to at least try to understand your woman emotionally? Your woman, not some other woman out here that you playing with, some woman that you met last week. Your woman that you have some time and history with. Your woman is not worth that. So you do realize that that's a reflection that's going to come back to you.
Oh wait, let me give you that reflection. Let me give you that reflection, AJ. See, because the man that I'm with, the reason why I'm with him, because me personally, I don't like. Well, I won't say that I don't like, but I've never been like a big relationship person. Like how most women, they always want to be in a relationship. Not me. I actually quite enjoy being alone. Right? I'm great with it. I'm just one of those people. I'm quite introverted. So, but the reason why I'm with him, not just one reason, but is because of the fact that he does understand my emotions, because he did take time to learn me and understand me, because he does know how to be that safe space for me. He does know how to be that rock for me. He does know how to be there for me. Right? And this is why I'm with him. And this is
So,
why I do all
so
the things that I do for him. And I promise you,
thank
there's
you. So
not
let me
much of
be on what
nothing
you
that this
want.
man can't ask for. Hold on, AJ. It ain't too much nothing that this man can't ask me for, right? Because of the way that he takes care of my heart, right? Because of the way that that man takes care of my heart. It ain't too much of nothing that that man can't ask me for that he won't receive. Because that shit matters that much. And the fact that y'all refuse to accept that and learn that is why you keep getting the results with women, because women need their heart to be taken care of. And y'all refuse to learn this. You refuse to accept it. You continue to argue with me about it. You continue to tell me I'm wrong, even though, look, we got women in the comments right now saying, exactly, that's the key. But y'all don't want to hear that. But that's what's going to calm your woman down. But you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that. She needs you to understand her heart, to give a damn about her heart. And y'all keep telling me that's not my job. And then you turn around and say that you don't know why your woman won't submit. These women won't submit. These women this, these women that. Well, sir, probably for the same reason why every man that tried to, can I elaborate on understanding her heart? Oh, baby, that's why I created a whole course about it. I sure did. That's why I created a whole course about it. But yeah, y'all sit here and you want her to do all these things like I do for my man. And every other man that tried to date me, he wanted those things from me. And you know why he couldn't get it from me? Because he didn't know how to care about my heart. He didn't know how to deal with my feelings. He didn't know how to actually take care of what mattered the most to me. So they could never get me. They could try, but they could never get me. The man that got me was the man that took the time to actually understand and learn me and learn how to care for me. That's the man that got me. But y'all don't want to hear that. It is crazy. Let's see. They tell you you're wrong because their perspective of their life is not the same as yours and mine. Right. Law of attraction. Y'all keep attracting these low vibe women because you're low vibe yourself. Exactly. Because like I just said, When you're sitting here and all you're doing is looking down on everybody else around you, well, it's very easy for you to compare yourself to everybody when you're only looking down at what you perceive to be below you. But you never look at those that are actually doing a little better. I don't see y'all comparing yourselves to the people that are in happy, long-lasting relationships, healthy relationships. I don't see you comparing yourselves to them. Because obviously you lacking somewhere because you're not in their position. And it's wild that y'all don't even listen to them. You get advice from some of the people that y'all get advice from. It's like, golly, that's okay. These people ain't never even been in a 5+ year relationship, and you're really gonna take relationship. Some of these people are in their early 20s, and you want to take relationship and long-term relationship advice from them at that. That one blows me. And that's not to say that just because you're in your early 20s, you don't know anything. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is you are just beginning. You don't have years of experience behind it. So what you think you know, you don't really know. I promise. What you think you know. And it's always so funny to me how our parents or the older generations would say stuff to us when we were younger, and we always think to ourselves, man, whatever. And then you get to their position in life, and when you get to middle age and you hit your 40s and stuff, and it's like, damn, I thought I knew something back then. I really thought I knew me something at 20, 21, 22. I thought I knew me a little something, you know what I'm saying? I really did. Yeah. Boy, I had another 10, 15 years to it. I know a little something now. Who knows what I'm going to know another 15, 20 years. But I tell you what, I know a whole lot about the bad. So in another 15, 20 years, I'm going to know a whole lot about the good. I'm done with the bad. Way done with the bad. Know too much about it. That's why I be trying to help people now. Because it's like, listen, I'm going to tell you what I learned. And I'm going to tell you what I had to learn to get to the other side of all this bull. I've been telling my kids they smell like outside. I do it all the time. I do it all the time. Close that door. I ain't cooling down the whole world. Cut them lights off. Y'all don't pay these bills. It's ridiculous. I know. It's crazy. We really do turn into our parents. Sometimes I say stuff and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Man, shoot, man.
And here's another thing with these unrealistic expectations. Because like I said, some of the people, and this trips me out, when you are 40 some odd years old and you are listening to a 20 something, why are you at 40, 50, 60 years old having the exact same type of relationship problems as your daggone 20-year-old child and grandchild? If you don't find that ridiculous, that you, as the elder, as the adult, as the parent, as the person that is supposed to be teaching them and guiding them to do better, you are having the exact same issues, and you don't see a problem with that? What Umar say? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
That
Why
baby
is
ain't
that?
got no coat on.
Yeah. And you better have an undershirt on that baby too in the wintertime. You better have an undershirt on.
I about cussed my uncle out because he was out with his girlfriend's baby with no coat on. Like, what the? You got a coat on? Why that baby ain't got no coat on?
Mine is shoes.
I about cussed my uncle out for that.
Mine is shoes. There's been a couple times I've seen somebody in the store in the middle of winter, the baby ain't had no shoes on their feet. Oh, that makes me mad.
I can't stand it.
You lose so much heat through your head and your feet.
Your head, your feet, and your hands.
Why the baby don't have shoes on in the middle of winter? That one burns me up. But anyways. Hello. So yeah, these unrealistic expectations. It just trips me out. I scroll my timeline, especially the people that I know in real life. Like, I know you in real life. I know you. I've known you for years. Male and female. And I see them say certain things about the opposite gender, and I just think to myself, you got to be kidding me, right? Right? Like, you joking with me right now? Like, you serious? Because what you think you're capable of pulling, you're not. You're not. Because you have not done the work on yourself. All right, Mr. Smith. You have not done the work on yourself to improve yourself and your circumstances. Y'all sit out here so much and talk about this damn table and what somebody bringing to the table. When in actuality, a lot of y'all ain't bringing not much of nothing. You're really not bringing much of nothing. Nothing of value. Not no real value. Like I said, are you bringing any type of fucking financial sense? Do you have some real skills that you're going to be able to teach your partner so that y'all can come together and be like, hey, I have these skills and you have these skills, and we can come together and we put our skills together and we build something together because we put our skills together and said, I'm going to teach you this and you teach me that. And now we move forward. You have anything of value? Right? No, y'all argue about stupid stuff. Like who's gonna pay 50-50 and who's supposed to be cooking and cleaning. Are y'all not adults? Do you not already cook and clean? Why is it even a conversation about who needs to cook and clean? Are the men out here just starving and living nasty because there's no woman in their house? Are the women doing the same because you're not already cooking and cleaning? I don't understand some of these arguments. It's stupid to me. What's the real value that you're bringing? What knowledge do you have that the two of you can use together to move up in life? What is it? What is it? Because a lot of people's just not bringing a whole lot of value because you don't want to fix yourself. You don't want to work on yourself. And yet, again, like I said, if you don't love and respect yourself, why do you expect somebody to show more love and respect than you do? Why? And then you'll sit here and pass so much judgment against everybody else. You'll pass so much judgment against these men and these women out here as if you are so much better, and completely bypassing your own liabilities that you're bringing. Just like the whole step parent conversation. And I know some women get mad sometimes when you bring that up. You having children by another man and entering a relationship, yes, it is a potential liability to that man. It is what it is. It is a potential liability to that man because he's stepping into a situation where I'm not going to get into all the things that can happen, but we'll just leave it at that because we've spoke on this before. Yes, it's a potential liability. And at the same time, as a woman who might be a single mother, if you don't choose the right man, you damn right, he could be a potential liability for you too. Because I have certainly, when I left my ex-husband, I had to build my life over from the ground up. From the ground up. It's crazy. And a lot of women, you know, just like I know, that you can be with the wrong man and you will finally leave that relationship and your whole life will start getting better when you leave that man alone. And I'm sure men probably have the same type of stories. I'm quite sure men have stories where they're like, man, my life was hell. I stopped dealing with her and whew, life is great. I'm saying some of y'all liabilities out here and you're not looking at how your life and your lifestyle is going to be a liability in that relationship. If you got bad credit, guess what, baby? You are a liability to that relationship. Go fix your credit. You feel like people always misunderstanding you? You know what? You might want to either get you a life coach or get you a therapist and figure out, because it's probably you. It's probably you. It's probably you. Because most people that think they're not confrontational, you're extremely confrontational. Most people that think they don't have an attitude, oh, you got a hell of a damn attitude. And a nasty one at that. Most of the men that say that they're a good guy or a nice guy, nah, you an asshole. And that's why women really don't like you, because you an asshole. Or you an egotistical asshole. Because if there's one thing I can't stand is a arrogant man. Ugh.
See, I'm a logical asshole. I'm different.
No, arrogance. An arrogant man, especially when you arrogant about something that y'all be arrogant about stuff that women really don't care about.
That don't even matter.
Yeah, y'all be arrogant about stuff. I'm gonna tell you one of the worst things, and almost every woman I know why y'all do it. But for the men that do this, I'm gonna tell you right now, women that are worth anything, when y'all do this, we look at you like, ew. You are the bottom of the bottom. Yuck. Those of you that like to talk about your money, how much money you make, or you get this, or you like to floss your money. Ugh. Especially when you're over the age of 30 doing that.
Them usually be the lamest ones.
Exactly. And again, these are also the ones that sit here beating their chest talking about women won't submit, or talking about y'all don't want a good guy. No, sir, you need to go work on some self-improvement. You need to go fix some stuff about yourself, because you are just not attractive to women. He said, leave cues alone. Don't start no wars in my comments. You know, but
most of the time, them be the lamest dudes. Because you have nothing of some real weight to talk about. Now, I will say, from a man's standpoint, you know, accomplishments are important. You know, a lot of the times that's how we are judged as men. So when a dude accomplishes something, he may want somebody to know it. But if that what you are built on, most of the time those are the lamest dudes, because they feel like they got money, they don't have to do nothing else. Those are dudes you see on social media. Like if you see Floyd Mayweather do something, like, man, why in the world would you spend all your money on that? And you'll see a dude in the comment, oh, you just hating because he got money. I don't even know this damn dude. How the fuck am I hating on somebody I don't know? Or you hating because he got money and you don't? How you know how much money I got? Them are usually the lamest damn dudes in the world.
Actually, I will say, I think anybody that uses that phrase, oh, you just hating, they're pretty lame individuals anyways.
Well, first of all, I'm sorry, I got to say this. It's 2023 and we still talking about fucking haters. Why are we still talking about, why they even get a conversation? Like when I was in middle school, we would say, oh, they hate us because they ain't us. Those ain't my haters, those my congratulations. Shit, I'm 41 and people still saying that stupid shit. Like, why are y'all still if somebody hate what I'm doing or hate me, you don't even get attention. Like, why would I even acknowledge you? Like, there's a sound on TikTok. There's a pastor preaching a sermon about people hating on you. Why? That is the dumbest shit in the world. I don't understand that. That one I don't get.
I told you already that when you, oh my God, don't do that. Don't. Anyways, but I told you, if you are constantly standing here and you're just looking down at what you perceive to be beneath you, but you're never taking the time to actually compare yourself to those that are already at this level that you have not reached, well, then, you know, it's very easy to sit here and talk about somebody hating on you, because, you know, you think you're above them, but you're not comparing yourself to people that are already doing, you know, what you say you're going to do that you haven't achieved yet. That poor comment there. I'm going to leave that one be. They use buzzwords from
Daddy
people like
Dino, you are correct. Huh?
I just wanted your attention. All right, thank you.
Facts.
You know what? And that's another point here, right? You you can tell if you're a person that has any type of intellect, you can tell which people on this internet actually use their brains, right? Because like you said, they'll take buzzwords or they'll, and me and AJ speak about this often, how people just regurgitate things that they hear. Like the one that irritates me is when men say, oh, well, it's because she just wants to divorce him and take half. It irritates me to no end simply because that is not a true statistic. I have looked up statistics. I'm not going to get into it right now. I did a whole live last summer on all those numbers simply because I get so tired of men saying, well, she's going to take 50%. Drives me crazy because that's not the true numbers and that's not how it really works. Right? And so people hear certain things and you don't go researching it. You don't go looking it up. You don't even go try to find out if it's true or not. You just saw it on social media and you ran with it. Somebody said it in the comments, so it must be true. And now you're repeating it in your comments. And it's like, golly, do you use your brain at all? Do you not check? You don't fact check anything for yourself? You don't go researching anything? No? Huh. And you can always tell who these people are because when you try to actually debate what they say with the real facts, they can never really give you a good response. It's always some BS answer or and the men and the women do this, or they attack you.
It's
You
the
know, with the
attack.
women, it's the whole, oh, who hurt you, or you must be gay. And, you know, men, they like to say, that's why you're going to be lonely with a cat. It's the equivalent. That's why you're going to be old and lonely. I have men in my comment section telling me that's why I'm going to be old and lonely. And it's like, sir, you don't see the ring on my finger in my videos before you decided to type that in my comment? You don't see the videos on my page of me and my man? And so you can tell when these people don't even have their own individual thoughts. They just
Don't have
regurgitate what they read in the comment section. And then I
just
see
got
these people and I just
just
think
got
to
to say
myself,
something to be a
these
part of the
must be,
conversation.
is this the piss in the pool y'all talk about? These people
Yeah.
right here, that's that piss in the pool y'all keep talking about out here, piss in the pool. It must be these folks.
Yes.
The regurgitators.
Damn.
Probably
First
the
time I
meme still was
disagree
good.
with you, I'm sassy. Or because something pissed me off, now I'm sassy.
AJ, you know you a man. You ain't allowed to have no emotion. You sassy. Oh, sassy self. Look at you. See,
Mad because
little
they messed up
steam
my
was coming from behind your ears and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It
mad
was
because they
twirly
messed up
too. You
my
know what I'm saying?
check.
Because you sassy, so the steam was like twirly. You know,
That's
like little
it.
tornadoes and stuff coming. Yeah, you know what I mean? It was sassy looking steam.
My job messed up my check, and I'm sassy because I'm mad about it. Ain't that something?
And listen, I don't play about my money.
Exactly. So the point is this.
I tell people real quick, it's two things that most certainly you will get me out of character. Don't mess with my kids and don't mess with my
I
money.
I get pissed off when the dudes do that because as a man, I feel like, yo, we supposed to be, I thought we was better than that. I want us to be better than that. But I feel like also as a man, I got the right to call that shit out. And you got a bunch of dudes on here.
Don't worry. I just blocked that one.
Yeah, sitting there watching these dudes and say certain things and just regurgitate certain things. And like, you can't even articulate that for yourself. Like seriously, like can you say can you use any one of your own thoughts and you sit up and having a serious back and forth conversation, a serious debate, and like dude said, you just using catchphrases and buzzwords that you heard elsewhere.
Like that damn term narcissist. Oh, y'all kill me with that one. I'm so sick of y'all misusing the word narcissist. Because the truth of the matter is, a lot of the times, those of you, especially those of you women, y'all love to say it, and really your behavior fits the definition of a narcissist. Your behavior fits the definition. Your behavior fits the definition of gaslighting. In almost every instance where I have seen a woman describe a man and sit here and call this man a narcissist, I'm sitting here looking at her like, you don't even see how you are describing yourself. That is wild. Nor do you see how the things that is a narcissist applies to you as a mother. That's the one that gets me too.
Man, I've had that
Y'all
conversation.
sit here and y'all talk about that word narcissist and you never apply it to your parenting, because a lot of you, and this ain't even just women, a lot of you are narcissistic parents.
I just had that conversation earlier today. I just had that conversation earlier today. People telling the kids, don't embarrass me, like you can't embarrass your kids. Well, you tell your kids you are a reflection of me. Well, your kids are also, you also a reflection of your kids as well. So if your kids at school cutting up, you go to the school, you cutting up, oh, we see where they get it from now. Ain't no hope for this kid.
Let me tell you something. I posted a video earlier. I saw it on TikTok and I shared it on my Facebook. The person left a comment on this woman's video, but the comment said, the relationship that your adult children choose to have or not have with you is the performance review of your parenting. And I tell you what, because there's a whole lot of us out here that we don't really fool with our parents like that. It's like, yeah, you know, I love them or whatever, but you know, we don't really have like a real close relationship with our parents. There's a lot of us out here like that. But that's a performance review of your parenting. How your adult children treat you. I'm a nurse, you know, I work night shift a long time. And there'll be a lot of like the older women, and I, you know, listen to them talk about their adult children and how their children do them bad and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, And now I never say it because I know what type of conversation will lead to, but I always think to myself, I bet your attitude was even worse than it is here at work. I bet it was even worse at home because you got a nasty attitude here at work. So I can only imagine how you spoke to your children, because I see the way you speak to strangers. And if you can speak to strangers with such venom and nastiness in your voice, how do you talk when you're in your most comfortable space to people that you feel like can't even fight back and won't fight back because you're their mother? But you're right, he's the narcissist. How many of you gaslight your children? They tell you something happened. You tell them that's not true. You tell them they lying. They tell you something that you did bother them, and you tell them that that's a lie. Yeah, it's crazy how people misuse these words. Y'all kill me with these words sometimes. And then it's wild how people throw words out here and you don't even really know the definition. I saw a comment the other day. This man, and I mean, he wrote like a whole paragraph, and he was, you know, really explaining himself, talking about something about how women demasculate men. And I thought to myself, for real? Demasculate?
When was that?
When they do that?
Where they do that at?
I said, now see, this is always what amuses me, because I mean, I was a nerd as a kid. Like, I literally used to read the dictionary for fun. I used to flip through the encyclopedia for the hell of it, just because I like to learn. Always been like that. So I'm like a grammar Nazi, but not to the point where I feel the need to correct you. But I'm one of those people that your spelling errors and your grammar errors immediately stand out to me. Immediately. And I'm like, you sat here and wrote this whole paragraph trying to sound smart, because you can tell when people are trying to sound smart and trying to use big words because they don't use them correctly. And it's amazing to me because it's like, yeah, you heard somebody else say that, but you didn't know the correct context in which to use it. But you thought you would throw these big words in there and make yourself sound educated. But people that actually, you know, study like the etymology of words and stuff, they know the real meaning, and you don't end up sounding very educated, which goes back to what I said about these unrealistic expectations. Some of y'all want something that you don't even bring to the table yourself.
I don't understand why that shit is hard. I just, that one right there. I'm tired of the back and forth conversations, although I participate in it. But the part I'm tired of is that right there. That's the part I'm tired of. It's like everybody's, first of all, you want your issue to be up front. There's room for everybody. Everybody wants their issue at the front of the line, and there's room for everybody up here, number one. But number two is, you're talking about what the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and you ain't even the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Or you clearly don't understand your role in your shit. And then you want to get behind these conversations and be loud and proud about it too. That's the stuff that I hate.
You know what? That actually, so I was going to do a video, but I didn't do it today because I wasn't feeling well today. I was going to do a video. So I had a conversation last night with my man. We were talking. We talk about a lot of deep stuff, right? And we were talking about my first marriage. And I was telling him how, I believe it was in one of the lives, actually, that somebody asked me this question. And they said, do you believe that your mouth played a part in why your marriage ended? And I said, absolutely. Absolutely, it did. And, I was telling him about different things that I said and did when I was younger and, things that caused issues. And he was asking me, well, why'd you do it? Like, where was your head at? Da, da, da. And I said, see, here's the thing. Because he's like, obviously you wanted to hurt him when you said that. I said, absolutely I did. I said, but the thing is, and I've said this many times, yes, when women get angry, they say things and do things with the intention of hurting you. Yes, that's the intention. But I think more often than not, and this was me back then too, I did not understand the impact of my actions. Meaning, yes, my goal was to hurt him. But at that point in time, I did not understand how those actions would have a long-term impact on not just him, but the relationship in itself. How the things that I did was going to set off some of the things that he did. And that's not to say that he didn't have his faults and his own, bullshit that he did as well, because he did. But just looking at my side of things, how my actions, and I think a lot of women truly do not understand because that's not something you're really taught. You're not taught how your actions are going to impact that man. Like they'll tell you, a man needs respect, but nobody really explains to women how disrespect impacts him. So I was going to do a video on that today.
I think some of it is not necessarily not knowing how, because even if nobody taught you to understand what respect or disrespect will mean to a man, disrespectful shit when you see it or when you hear it. So I think a big part of it is just not caring.
No, I'm telling you, as a woman, I am telling you, and you have said many times, I'm not like most women that you know, right?
Right.
And I'm telling you, as a woman that was raised by men, I never fully understood the impact that my words and my actions were going to have on that man's mental when I did the things that I did. All I knew was by saying and doing this was going to hurt you, which was my goal. But I did not understand. I'm telling you, it is not explained to women in a way for women to understand.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know how to break it down for you. Like, I know when I do this video, I'm going to be specific about not exactly what I said, but I'm going to be specific about the impact. Maybe you'll understand me a little more because I'm going to record it, but I'm going to be more specific about the impact.
No, I get the part, what you're saying as far as not understanding the impact of it. Not understanding that, but calling me a stupid motherfucker was wrong.
Right, but again, but if she doesn't understand how that's going to impact you in the long term, then it doesn't really matter because you know what she's going to say? Well, I was mad. Is that not what women say? Well, I was mad. Exactly. Well, I was mad. Because in her mind, for one, and we've talked about this before. So for one, oftentimes men and emotions is not a thought in a woman's head. I'm dead honest with you. A man having emotions and my words and behaviors affecting how he's going to feel is not a thought in majority of women's heads until you have this light bulb moment or until you're taught better or whatever. It's just not there, right? It's not there. So yes, I understand that by saying this, I want to hurt you or I want my words to have an effect on you. But most do not understand these long-term effects, right? So when I have sat here and looked back over my marriage and thought about the things that I said and I did, and now I have sat here and analyzed, like, you know what? Now I see how that played out in him. Because we were together. We got together when I was like 17. I left him when I was 32. Right? So, we were together a long time, right? We got married when I was 20. We were together a long time. I'm talking about things that I said and did at 19, 20, 21 years old. Now I look back and I can see how those things ended up playing out over the years in the marriage. Right? And so when I was sitting and thinking about this last night, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a video and break it down on the actual impact that my behavior had, because so many women do not understand the impact that their words and their actions have on that man's mental health and how it's going to affect his future decisions when it comes to her and the relationship and how he's ultimately going to treat her. I promise you they don't know. I've listened to so many conversations. And even myself, I wrote a post the other day where I talked about, the guy that I was dealing with a few years back. And the one thing that he would say to me all the time, I'm not a robot. I do have feelings. I'm not a robot. I do have feelings. And when we finally quit talking, it just randomly, it would keep popping up in my mind. I'm not a robot. I do have feelings. And I was like, wow, I really had to sit and think about that. Because so many times I never looked at his perspective. I never looked at how, when we would get into our arguments and stuff, I was only looking at how the situation was making me feel and affecting me. I never took into consideration how my words and actions might have been affecting his emotions. And this was like 5 years ago. So I'm telling you, unless something happens to give you that light bulb moment, it's just not something that's there for majority of women. You got to have that light bulb moment. Apparently, you just popped in the last 10 seconds. So, I really see what I was just talking about earlier about people that just, see what I'm saying? This is one of them people, because here you just pop up out of nowhere. You heard 30 seconds of something, and now you making assumptions on what's going on, and you making comments that don't even fit. And now you make yourself look dumb. Why people do that is beyond me. There's this little term, it's called read the room. Read the room. Right? It's a term called read the room. You go in, you assess things, you feel the temperature, you see what's going on. You ask questions if need be, right? Because my daddy taught me that when you assume, you make an ass out of yourself.
That's what they said.
Because they don't care. They don't care because they don't respect the men. Now, see, that don't even fit, because if you had actually been around and understood what the conversation was about and understood the explanation I was giving, you would know why you're sitting here looking like an ass. And let's be very clear. See, when men make comments like that too, that trips me out. Because when men say things like that, because they don't respect the men, that tells me right there that women don't respect you in your life. That's what that tells me. Because men that get respect from women are not up here on this internet talking about these women don't have no respect for men. No, it's because you. And see, again, what I say, this whole live is about people just like this. Unrealistic expectations. Because this is somebody, when you get up here and say, these women don't respect men. See, now you're telling me who you are. You're telling me how you carry yourself. You're telling me that the women around you don't show you any respect. And that comes back to how you carry yourself as a man. That comes back to you. comes back to your behavior, to how you're treating these women, to how you're acting, to how you're talking about them or talking to them. It all comes back to you. Because there are plenty of men that can engage with those very same women and will not have the same response that you had, because he's a different type of man with a whole different type of character. So when you get up here and beat your chest about, oh, these women don't respect men, well, sir, you might want to look at yourself. And it's also no different for the women that sit here and say, these men don't do this and these men don't do that. No, baby, that's because they don't do it for you. They don't do it for you. And if they don't do it for you, then you need to look at yourself. I put up a post one day. I said, if a man doesn't do for you just for the strength of the type of woman you are, then you need to evaluate the type of woman you are. And there were some that didn't understand what that meant.
Of course.
And the men that know, they know, because when you are a woman who is a woman, right? And I don't want to get into this whole feminine, masculine thing, but when you are a woman who operates on a certain frequency, let me put it like that. When you operate on a certain frequency, men will do for you just because. It trips me out when women be like, well, how do you get these men to do that? I don't have to get men to do anything for me. They offer. They do it because they want to. Or if I do ask, I offer something in return. I have a friend who's a general contractor. If I need him to do something, I'm like, hey, listen, I'll cook for you. I'll make you something. I'll do this. I always offer something of value in return. If I need you to come do something for me, I'm going to offer you something in return, right? Reciprocity. So it trips me out, when people say certain things that tells others about you. And as a woman, when you sit here and you talk about how a man didn't do this for you and didn't do that for you, understand that also reflects on you, because you allowed it and you accepted it. So what does that say about you? You know what I'm saying? This shit just be tripping me out. I sit and a guy was in my comments today on the video that was about this unrealistic expectations. And he said that, everybody's not as strong as you. Some of us need somebody else because love is so healing. And I said, well, if that's how you feel, then you're not ready to be in a relationship. I said, to expect somebody to love and respect you more than you love and respect yourself is wild. It is wild. And he went on to go back and forth about how, some people just need a little help. I said, no, that's using them. I said, they're going to eventually leave you because that's draining. It's draining to the other person. Because you want them to fill these holes within you that you refuse to go fill. It's crazy. They're not going to stick around for that because you're going to drain them and they're going to leave you. And then you're going to be right back out here talking about how these men and women ain't shit. No, because you really ain't shit. You need to go fix you. You need to go fix you. Go take your ass to the gym. Go fix your fucking diet. Go learn some financial literacy. Go learn how to fucking communicate effectively. Go learn how to express your emotions. Learn how to control your emotions. Develop some self-discipline. Get you some self-motivation. Go to therapy. Go read a damn book and get off your phone. Go do something productive with your time besides watching fucking TV and scrolling social media and arguing about dumb shit.
Going in people's lives just to talk shit in the comments.
Oh, that one too. That one always trips me out too. These grown men that get up and that one blows me. Grown men, you get on social media and you act like little bitches. And I really have no tolerance for bitch men. I really don't. You get on social media and you will go to a woman's page, whether it's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and get in your feelings about what she said because you don't like her post. I saw a post the other day. The woman posted, she said, white men will take you to Paris and propose within 6 months. That's all she said. Do you know this post had like 300 comments? And it was a bunch of men on her comments mad. Told me that's why we doing this, and that's why we doing that, and and that's why y'all gonna be old and lonely with cats. And I'm sitting here scrolling, looking at it, thinking to myself, do you know how much of a bitch you look like as a man to be on the damn internet arguing with a woman who the only thing she said was white men will take you to Paris and propose in 6 months? That's all she said. That's literally all she said. She didn't say anything about black men. She didn't put anybody down. She literally only said, white men will take you to Paris in 6 months and propose. That's all she said. And these men just went in, was attacking her, attacking other women in the comments. And I'm looking and I'm like, this has got to be one of the sorriest displays of masculinity I've ever seen. When y'all get up on this internet and act like little bitches, they come in my comment section and want to attack me and say stupid stuff to me. And it's wild. It was a video I did the other day. The man came, completely misunderstood my message, went in, called me a typical black woman, told me to shut up. And I responded and I was like, did that make you feel better? Like, did you feel like some big man or something? Did you feel all superior because you went and told a woman to shut up? And then another man commented and said I was dogging him. I said, I'm dogging him? Have a good day, sir.
The post you made was specifically about him.
Yes. No, I said when you men do things like this, like I replied to his comment.
In his mind, I was being facetious. In his mind, he made that whole post about him personally.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I said when you men do things like this, does it make you feel superior? Do you feel like a big manly man? He-Man, hear me roar. I went and told that bitch to shut up. I told her she's a typical black woman. Yay for me. I'm an alpha. Shut the fuck up. You don't put no fear in nobody's heart with that bullshit. Go sit down somewhere. Go sit down. You probably pissed on your balls. Don't nobody. Shut the fuck up.
That's just fucked up. That's just wrong.
No, because that's really how I feel when I see these type of comments. Like real shit. That's how I feel when I see it. Because it's like, are you serious, sir? Do you know how you look right now? You don't look like some big, strong man. You for damn sure don't look like a leader that any woman is going to want to submit to. You don't look like you worth nothing. And it just trips me out how these men get up on this internet and act like that, and then act like they're going to be these great men in relationships. And it's like, sir, your behavior is the biggest turnoff to women. And you keep blaming the women, but for many of you, no, it's your damn behavior and that ego. Because again, your unrealistic expectations, the not the entire red pill space, but the men that act like that, the ones that latched on,
the ones who make the most noise,
right? Those ones. Because I'm not gonna group them all together. Because like I said before, some stuff starts off with good intentions, but once bad people get a hold of it, it changes. So I understand what the red pill space was meant to be, and what it has become. But what it has become with these whining grown boys, it just trips me out. Because it's like, are you serious, sir? Here you are, a big old man, and you spend your entire day complaining about women. Women that you think you're superior to, and yet you spend your entire day complaining about them. Sir, you don't look very superior. You don't look very superior at all. You don't look like much of a choice. You don't look like an option. And when you keep telling people they're going to end up alone, it really is just you're projecting your own fears. Because even science and psychology and all of that will tell you that men don't deal with loneliness as well as women do. Because women tend to build social connections all throughout their lives, whereas men don't build the same social connections as women. And I could go further and explain that as far as the brain and why, but I'm not going to. So it has been shown that men struggle more with loneliness as they age. than women do. That's the science. You know, when y'all like to get out here and quote facts and stuff, because I'm a fact checker. I like to look up numbers. I love looking up numbers. And speaking of numbers, I did share this on my Facebook, but Facebook likes to suppress the serious stuff I post. A video. Oh, yeah, that video you sent me, AJ.
Which one?
The woman put up this video.
Oh, yeah, that one.
And I thought the numbers were interesting. And y'all know, normally I do not make my content race specific, but this video is race specific, so we will have to make it race specific. So the woman was brought up stats in regards to black men, black women, white men, white women. And out of all those, I'm not going to touch on the college because that I think is irrelevant. But when they did all these studies, it showed that black men were the least employed of anybody in America. It said black men were the least likely to move up as far as income status compared to black women and every other, you know, white women and white men. And it was two different videos because I went in her comments, and there was another video where it was actually a news a newscast thing about the study or whatever. And the man was saying that they found that these particular statistics only apply to black men. And what I said to AJ after I watched this, I said, you know what's crazy about this? I said, I know that people are going to say, oh, the system this, the system that, the system this, the system that. I don't want to hear that. And the reason I don't want to hear that is because if you can sit here and tell me how we got to this point, because people love to talk about the past. Oh, because they did this, this, and this, and this happened, and this happened, this happened. So that means if you can sit here and tell me every single thing that happened that got us here, but you haven't spent any of that time trying to figure out how to undo any of that within your power, because there are things that you can do within your power. Like one of the things that she said was black men have the lowest life expectancy rate, 58 years. Don't blame the system and the man for that. Because you know what? Ain't nobody tell you to eat that damn cheeseburger. Ain't nobody tell you to sit your ass on that couch instead of going to the gym. Ain't nobody tell you to not schedule that doctor's appointment. All of that was within your control. That is within your control. So don't blame that on the system. It said black men were the least likely to graduate high school. Now I understand that's a younger demographic. And I do understand, you know, the schools and it's poor and da-da-da-da-da. But see, tutoring doesn't always have to cost. When I was in college, I had a couple of guys in the math class, because I was in advanced math class, that came to me and was like, listen, can you tutor me? Sure. And we set days and we would go to the library and I would help him and I would tutor him and never charged him. I just did it just to help him because he asked me. I used to tell my son when he was in high school, boy, if you don't find you the smart, pretty girl in the class and get cool with her and get her to help you, if you don't get that smart, pretty girl to tutor you, you better find them. And you cute too. Oh, she'll do it. She'll do it. So there's no excuse there. They said black men were the least likely to move up in income throughout life. Black men were the least employed. Okay, you can tell me about the system, but this is 2023. If you are walking around with this in your pocket, don't you tell me a damn thing about the system stopped you from doing anything. There's 1,001 ways to make money with this. There's nothing you can't learn with this. Everything you want to know is right here if you use it properly. So don't tell me about what you can't do. Because you can go to YouTube University and you can learn how to do all types of stuff. I have taken apart my wash machine twice and repaired it off of YouTube videos.
You got a goddamn master's degree from YouTube.
You know what I'm saying? I learned how to do nails off of YouTube videos. I've learned how to do a whole lot of stuff off of YouTube videos. So you can't sit here and keep blaming the man for why certain things aren't happening. And you can't really blame the system if it only applies to Black men. Because they're not seeing these same things happen with Black women. Oh, and the other one was Black men are the largest population in the prison. Again, yes, I know. You can tell me the system. I get it. I understand the system that's in place. I do. But in your power, you didn't have to commit that crime. We got choices. And yes, I know there are innocent Black men in prison. I know. I get that. But we're not talking about those. We're talking about the ones that did commit the crime. There's something you can do about that. Because you committed a crime because you didn't know how to control your emotions. You let your anger get the best of you. You let your lust get the best of you. You let your rage get the best of you. You let desperation get the best of you. And don't get me wrong, I know that sometimes your back is up against the wall and that's the only option. I know. I've been there too. I'm not saying I have never committed crimes in my life. Just thankfully for me, I never got caught. So I understand sometimes your back's up against the wall and that's the only option you have. And you praying. It's a hope, a wish, and a prayer that you don't get caught because it's the only play you got in the book. I get that. So I do get that. But with those numbers being what they are, you got much bigger issues on your plate than to be sitting here talking about what women do and don't do. If you are a Black man and those particular statistics apply to you, the last thing you need to be worried about is what a woman is over there doing and not doing. Because with those statistics, and if you fall within those statistics, sir, why would she submit to you? You have not shown the ability to lead anything because you're leading your own life into chaos. So any woman that wants to follow you, oh, she's definitely bringing some chaos with her. Because a woman about her business ain't finna do it. She ain't finna do it. It's just crazy to me. Again, unrealistic expectations. You over here following these statistics that shows that your life is not on the up and up, sir. It ain't going where I think most of us want to go. And you spending your time complaining about a woman. Sir, if you don't get off this damn internet and go do something productive with your time and be the man that you say you are. It's so many men out here talking about I'm a man. But what do your actions say? Yo, you ain't moving like not no type of man I grew up knowing. You ain't moving like the type of men I was raised around because the men I was raised around, they got results. They made moves. They did things. They were productive. But y'all beat y'all chest talking about what a woman is doing and ain't doing. Sir, what are you doing and not doing? It's ridiculous. Unrealistic expectations. We need a lot of what? A lot of December. Oh, discipline. Oh, yes. Okay, yes. I'm assuming you probably hit send on accident before you were ready. Yes. And you know, honestly, that's the problem. Most people lack self-discipline. And self-discipline is not an easy thing. Listen, I fast. My longest fast, I did 13 days I completed of a water fast. You know how difficult it is to water fast for 2 weeks? Just water, no food. I still went to the gym. I still went to work. I did everything I had to do. 2 weeks. That's some discipline. And it's crazy because, you know, a few years ago, I would have told you, man, I can't go 2-3 days without eating. I would have told you what everybody tells me now. And they're like, man, you crazy. You went that long, you didn't eat nothing? Nope, sure didn't.
I'm glad to tell you, I ain't doing it.
Mind over matter. Mind over matter.
I mind.
Well, for me, at the end of the day, the benefits meant more to me. The health benefits of me doing it.
A couple days. I give you about 5 days. 13? Shit.
Well, that was my challenge to myself. My goal was 10. So the first time I did a long water fast, my goal was 10 days and I made it 8. And so I had to complete my goal. I was like, all right, I got to do this again. So I was like, I'm going to do 10 days. And then once I reached 10 days, I said, I'm going to keep going. Let's see how long I can go. Let me see if I can make it to 2 weeks. And I broke on 13th day. I went to a pool party and they had some jerk chicken that was made like from a Jamaican. And I was like, you know what? I'm not letting this pass up.
So you gonna blame the Jamaican for it?
No, I'm not blaming. I made a very conscious decision. I'm breaking my fast today. My goal was 10. I made it 13. I am accomplished. I surpassed my goal. I'm eating this damn jerk chicken. And I was happy with myself. I achieved my goal. I'm cool. You have to challenge yourself to progress. Yeah. Even with the water fasting, I started off doing 1 day and then I worked my way up to 3 days. And then I did I did 8 days the first time. And even now, I'm about to start fasting in February. I'm fasting the whole month of February, not water, but I have been prepping the entire month of January because I know I'm going into a month of different fasts. I'm doing a different fast each week. So this whole entire month, I've already, been cutting down carbs. I already cut out alcohol. I cut carbs down. I've been I already do intermittent fasting. So going from eating twice a day to doing OMAD, basically preparing my body because starting February 1st, I'm water fasting for a week.
Yeah, I'm doing no sugars.
If you're doing no sugars, you better go ahead and take carbs out because carbs turn into sugar.
Yeah, I know. I do. When I did keto one time before, and I did intermittent fasting, I did, pretty much a cheat keto, was pretty much cut out carbs and sugars like that, and that was easy.
Yeah.
So I'm about to do that again.
That's normally what I do. I typically do low carb, not as much now because I do weightlifting. And yes, we do eat too much. We eat way too
damn
much.
much, especially in America.
You don't even need three meals a day. You don't need to eat 3 meals. Like I literally eat when I'm hungry. Sometimes I eat once a day because I'm only hungry once. Sometimes I eat twice a day. And me being a woman, if it's that time, I'm eating. I'm eating. I don't even give a damn about my diet when it's that time. I'm eating whatever the hell I want.
Overrated, but I get what you're saying though. I was looking at a YouTube video and a guy went to Belize, and he was there for 2 weeks. And he said he wasn't on a diet or nothing, but he just there for 2 weeks. He ate because he wanted to try so much different stuff while he was there. He ate like crazy and lost 12 pounds.
Yeah.
Because of the different type of diet that they have, he lost weight.
Yeah.
It's like, in America, our food is horrible.
Well, the one thing about the food here, one, they allow them to put chemicals and ingredients in our food that they don't allow in other countries that are banned.
Everything is processed. You know how much shit is banned in other countries that we eat?
Yes, I do. I do. I do. I'm very aware. That's why I eat the way that I eat. I don't eat like most people. Like, yeah, I still eat junk, but not to the degree that most people do. And then the other thing about our diet here, if you look around the world, one thing about here, our diet is very meat centered. But if you look at places that have naturally smaller people, like the Asians, their shape is naturally smaller. They don't eat a lot. They eat meat, but it's more of the noodles, the rice, and vegetables with meat added in.
Yeah, meat
Whereas
is our
with
entree.
us, meat is the main thing on our plate.
Yeah, that's our entree. That's their side.
Right. And I'm telling, when I cook at home a lot, like you've seen some of the stuff I've been cooking all this week. I've been cooking vegetarian all week except for yesterday. But I've been cooking a lot of like veggies and noodles and rice and it's crazy. Yesterday I ate some fast food and messed my stomach up. I've been eating at home and cooking all month. And yesterday I ate some fast food and my stomach was whew. I was like, damn, I should have just stuck to at home because that mess tore my stomach up. I told you I wasn't feeling good today. I said, should have done it.
I was doing good. I was cooking and meal prepping and shit and messed up.
Well, and the thing is, like, I've said before, I used to be 300 pounds. And I had weight loss surgery in, 2009, I think. And I lost quite a bit, and my weight has been up and down ever since, right? Like it's been up and down. 3 years ago, I got down to like 180. I was small. And then 2020 hit, and a lot of things happened in my life. I started putting the weight back on. And in the end of 2021, I got a personal trainer, started working out at home. And then February 22, we started going to the gym together. And then towards the end of last year, I started going to the gym by myself. You know what I'm saying? So, and my weight still has been up and down. You know, I posted the side by side the other day where over the course of 2022, I did a side by side of what I looked like at the beginning of 2022 and what I look like right now. And I was not good about my diet this year. I was still drinking alcohol and stuff. And just by the simple fact that I was going to the gym 3 days a week, most of the time, I wasn't even always consistent. Most of the time, meaning I was fairly consistent, but there were a few times there that I didn't go. Like we went on vacation. There was a couple weeks I took off for various reasons. So I would say, you know, out of the entire year, maybe 6 weeks of that I didn't work out, right? Outside of those 6 weeks, I was at the gym 3 times a week. Just by me going to the gym 3 times a week, I could see the changes in my body. And that's me not, you know, actually doing the work that I needed to do to fix my diet and, you know, eat the way that I need to and really be consistent about working out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, sometimes you mess up. Just do it, get back on and do it again. Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? All right, I fell off. I've been messing up. I've been eating some bull. I need to get myself together. I need to rein this in. He said, eat
Sitting
less
behind
meat.
the desk messed me up, boy. Shit.
Huh?
Sitting behind a desk messed me up. Got a job sitting behind a desk on a computer doing paperwork and processing paperwork. When I got the human resources, first job I ever had, 8 years at a job, and I got lazy as hell. Got
Yeah.
used to that. So in 8 years, I've probably gained 80 pounds.
Yeah, it happens.
I got lazy. It made me so damn lazy. And then right when I started to get back into working out again, when COVID hit, it's like, and they just messed me all up. So now I just ain't started back up yet. But
You know what I like to tell people to do? Because, like I said earlier, people have unrealistic expectations because they're not real with themselves, right? So, one of the things I like to tell people to do, if one of your issues is your weight and you know it's your weight, bigger people have a tendency, we like to hide from ourselves. We do. We like to hide from ourselves. Get your ass out that shower and go stand in front of that mirror butt naked. Take pictures of yourself butt naked from the front, the side, and the back. No, I'm honest. Like, really. Take pictures of yourself in the mirror, naked, from the front, the side, and the back, and really look at yourself, right? And I do this, and I do comparison photos for myself because of the body dysmorphia, right? Like I can't see myself in the mirror. So the only way that I can tell that I'm losing weight is to do comparison photos. But also by me doing that, it forces me to be honest about what my body looks like. It forces me to be honest about my size. You know what I'm saying? It forces me to really look at myself and stop lying to myself. Like when I put on that weight and got to be 300 pounds, I couldn't see myself. But I couldn't see myself because I didn't really look at myself. I knew I was big, but I didn't really look at myself. I avoided myself. Just like a lot of big people don't have full-length mirrors in their house. Because it's a lot easier when you can avoid that image in the mirror and you can tell yourself that you're not as big as what you think you are. You're going to try to tell yourself you're smaller than what you really are, but you're not. And you know, that's, you know, I got friends who, you know, we've over the years been up and down with our own weight. And I told them at the beginning of this year, I said, listen, y'all, this is the last year I'm doing this. I turned 40 this year and I'm telling you, I will not, I refuse to enter my 40s doing any of the same bullshit habits I've been doing for the last 20 years. I refuse to do it. And me allowing my weight to go up and down and yo-yo is a bullshit habit. And I refuse to do this battle in my 40s. I refuse. I'm tired of every year I get on the phone with my homegirl, be like, girl, we need to do this. I'm not doing this with y'all no more. I'm losing it once and for all, and I'm keeping it off, and I'm done with this fight. I'm done. That's why I tell you, you got to be honest with yourself. If weight is one of your issues, look at yourself in the mirror naked. Take pictures of yourself naked. If your diet is one of your issues, woo, I'm going to tell you what helped me. Take a week and write down every single thing you eat. Don't try to switch it up for that week. Do how you normally do. And you write down every single thing you eat, because most people are not aware of how much food they actually eat, especially if you're a snacker. You're not even consciously really aware of how much bullshit you put in your mouth throughout the day. Write down every single thing you put in your mouth for a week straight, and then look over it at the end of that week. And if you don't feel some type of way about what you read, I don't know what else to tell you. Now, I know for me, that was very helpful for me. When I started keeping a diary of what I was eating, it made me look at my eating habits a little bit different. And I was like, oh, wow.
And let me add something else to that. Once you're writing down what you're eating, write down how much it costs too.
Oh, yeah, that too. That too, because that goes in, like we said earlier, with the whole financial literacy.
Well, I took 3 months of bank statement and I highlighted every time I went out to eat. Them little $6, $7 here and there. Yeah. When you see it like that, I promise you'll be like, man, hell no, I'm spending way too much. Especially if you like check the check of somebody struggling with money. Take the last 3 months and highlight every time you went out to eat, or highlight when you bought something that you absolutely did not need. And look what that money. Matter of fact, if you're a smoker, don't even put cigarettes on there. Like out to eat because you didn't need that. If you bought a shirt that you didn't need, highlight that shit. Watch how much money you spent in the last 3 months. That was totally fucking unnecessary.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, truly. And you know, again, like I said, with these unrealistic expectations, this is the type of stuff you should be looking at yourself and saying, what am I really bringing to the table? What do my finances look like? What does my health look like? What does my mental state really look like? Because most people are not honest with themselves about who you are and what you actually do and your behavior. And you know this too, because when people bring your behavior to your attention, you immediately get defensive and say, that's not me. I don't do that. Yes, you do. And you mad because this ain't the first time you've heard it, which means, yes, you do. They weren't the first person to say it to you. Somebody else said it, and somebody before them said it. And now you're triggered by it, but in actuality, you need to go look at yourself, because they're not saying it for nothing. Unrealistic expectations. That's why I said this is not gender specific. It goes both ways. There's so many people out here. You're not doing anything to actually grow as a person. I see, you know, these chicks put up status, and well, I won't even say chicks. I see men do it too. Oh, I'm doing this, and this. I'm making big moves. I started this business. Yeah, I'm on top now. Y'all ain't fucking with me. Da 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 da. Okay, what's your character look like though? What's your intellect look like though?
The ones that piss me off is the ones talking about this journey of self-love and learning your worth and knowing your worth and enlightenment and all this other shit. And you ain't did shit to your mentals. You ain't did shit with your mentals. You ain't did shit with your state of mind. You ain't did none of that. How you supposed to get to the next level of enlightenment, so to speak, and you ain't did shit about your state of mind? I don't understand that one. I hate that one. Then women have a tendency to do this one. In your quest of self-love and self-righteousness, whatever, a lot of women get real mean. And under the guise of, well, I used to let people talk shit to me, I don't let people do that no more, or something like that. And it's like, but you turn into a little mean ass little woman don't nobody want to deal with. And
Or
then the
they
response
they
to
they
that is,
disguise it as I'm setting boundaries, which there's nothing
exactly.
wrong with setting boundaries. But as y'all women kept coming to my communication video, it ain't what you say, but how you say it. Y'all kept coming and saying that. It ain't what you say, but how you say it. Well, ma'am, even when you set boundaries, it ain't what you say, but how you say it. I've set boundaries with men that came at me sideways, came at me crazy, and I didn't get disrespectful not one time. But I
Thank
sure
you.
let them know where they had me fucked up at and never even had to cuss at them.
Thank
I
you.
actually specialize in cussing you out without actually cussing. It's one of my favorite things to do. I love it. I will cuss you out and make you feel about that damn big without ever actually cursing or even getting disrespectful with you. I'm just going to straight call you on your shit.
I kill you what you said.
You know? So again, it ain't what you say, but how you say it. You most certainly can set boundaries without being mean, rude, and disrespectful. Absolutely.
And then they say you say something like, "Well, this is how I am, so I'm supposed to put up with your bullshit because that's how you are."
I've been told to pay her monthly bills just to take her out on a date. Now that's wild. That's
That don't even require a conversation. I would have did like this, like
that's
that. Go about my business.
that and
I wouldn't even had a
it's crazy
conversation
because
about
I
that.
think most of the really really bad ones at this point are the younger ones and the older women that still have that young minded mentality.
I think they worse than the young ones.
Absolutely, because you should know better by then. But the younger ones, they get these messages and even and I was thinking about this today too. Even when my friend, she's in a relationship with this great guy. She calls me all the time to tell me, she's like, girl, like I've just never been so happy before. He's so great, da 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 da. And she put up a post and she was like, some men really do come to restore. And I thought about how when women on this side of things say things from a healthy perspective, how those who are still in a broken state take it
They get
and they
offended.
turn it into something that's no longer healthy. So, like when she said, some men really do come to restore, you have these women that will be, they take it and they turn that into something negative, as in, like, yeah, but y'all ain't out here doing this. Y'all out here doing da 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 da. A real man would do this. And it's like, honey, what you missed though was all the work that her and I had to do on ourselves to get to this point, to be with these type of men. These men had to do work on themselves to get to that point, to meet us at the level of where we have reached. Right? And so that's what trips me out when people take positive things that are healthy and that are true, but they only apply in a healthy relationship, and then they take it and they try to make it apply in broken situations, and it's like, it's not, it doesn't work like that. In order for you to get those results, you have to do the work too. Same way how those men have to do the work to get to a certain point. The women have to do the work to get to a certain point to meet those men. He's not going to come down there after he did all that hard work, just like she's not going to come deal with you after she did all that hard work. That was the point of the work, to get away from that. It's crazy to me. It's again, unrealistic expectations. Y'all be so busy trying to look down on people that you think are below you. Oh, sir, I know y'all coming in at a certain point, and I know that probably makes y'all feel like y'all can say things, but I promise you, I'm not going to do any finger pointing. I know you're sitting here saying most women don't. I see. Most women don't feel they need to do any work, just show up and be pretty. Well, I'm going to counteract that with most men also feel like they shouldn't have to do any work. And when I say that, as I said in the live earlier, the part where a lot of men lack is understanding how to be there for a woman emotionally, right? What y'all think y'all are doing is not what women actually need. So I could go back and forth all day about, well, women do this, and I'm going to tell you why women do it, because a lot of it is based off of why men do this. The same way how the reason why a lot of men do this is because a lot of women do this. I could go back and forth all day, right? Because for every cause, there is an effect, which is why this whole gender war thing is absolutely stupid, because for every cause, there is effect, which means if she's doing that, it's probably because of something that you did. If he's doing that, it's probably because of something that you did. Not to say that, we don't all have our own internal struggles, because we do. And so some of that is unhealed and projections. But when you do something, there's going to be a reaction to that on both sides. You know what I mean? That's why this whole finger pointing is stupid, because both sides got things that they need to fix. Both sides got shit they need to go heal. Both sides need to take time to understand the other side and stop expecting them to do everything the way that your side does it. It's ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous. Men showing up and looking handsome doesn't have the same effect. No, it doesn't. It'll get you a lot of attention, though. Men can, I don't know. Men showing up being handsome gets them a lot of attention. It ain't no different than a pretty woman showing up. Listen, every time, because we do agency work, and my man's in the healthcare field, just like I am. So every time he goes to a new facility, I always joke, and I'm like, oh, tell me about your fan club when you get off. Because I already know. Every time he goes to these facilities, these women about to be all in his face. I've seen it happen. And I know how women are. And I know how women are around attractive men. No, it really doesn't. His money gets him attention. Honey, are you crazy? Do you really think a good-looking man don't get attention from women simply because he's good-looking? Are you tripping? And I'm telling you that as a woman that sat at that nursing station, you crazy as hell. A man that women collectively, the majority of women will agree that man is fine as hell. You think that don't get him attention? You think a fine-ass man don't get certain special treatment from women? Are you crazy? Women love an attractive man of status. Are you crazy? You're right, they do. But if you really think that fine ass men don't get special treatment from women just because they're fine, listen, even when I was married, me and my ex-husband used to joke about it too. Because, I go to the store and, men hook me up with free food and stuff, but he would do the exact same thing. He would go places and women would give him stuff for free or hook him up just because he looked good. They do it to my man now. They see a fine man and they hook him up. They give him certain. Y'all crazy. If you really think a fine ass man don't have no type of privilege with women, you tripping. You tripping. If you think looks don't matter to women and it's only about money, you definitely tripping. That tell me right there you don't understand a lot about women. You wilding. If you think a man being fine as hell don't have an effect on women. And if you think a fine ass broke man can't get a woman, you a damn lie. I've seen it happen way too many times. Just because he was fine as hell. You think that ain't gonna get him attention? What? Y'all funny. Yes, women might like power and status, but if you think looks don't matter to women, I only get attention because I make good money. I'm ugly as fuck. Look at my pic, but I get attention. Well, see, if you are what, society standards of ugly, and I always say society standards because that's really what it is. It's society standards. Because even if you are what society considers unattractive, there's somebody out there that is going to find you attractive as hell. You find somebody. So I don't, and I that's why I use that term according to society standards, right? But yes, if you are not what society considers attractive, then yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. You gonna have to have something else going for you. And you're gonna have to have some money and a good personality. If you're funny, that's a plus. It's a good thing to be funny. You know? Looks are not top of women's list typically. I didn't say they're at the top of the list. I said don't think they don't matter. I said don't think looks don't matter. And don't think that looks don't get a man benefits and privileges with women. Don't ever think that a good looking man doesn't have benefits and privileges with women. That's what I'm saying. Cause yeah, right. Yeah, right. The men that are fine as hell and they know they fine as hell, I wish they would show up. Now I don't know if this is a man or not right here that says she not lying. I hope you are a man, because I'm trying to tell you, a man that's fine as hell. What? Yeah, right. Okay. Handsome in the eyes of the beholder. Yeah, I mean, the saying beauty is in the eye of the beholder. That's facts. That's true. You know. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. He said be right back. Okay. I was about to wrap all this up in a few minutes anyway. We've been on a long time today. This has been a long live. Golly. This has been a real long live. Normally I'm done by 11. It's 11:30 now. The gentleman asked me on one of the videos, could I do a live on healing? He said a woman is telling you, listen, just like you want women to listen to us when we say things. Man, listen. I'm glad you said that, because I've done a couple of videos about that, because I sit here and I talk about certain things, and it's funny because men will come argue me, and I'm like, how in the world? I'm sitting here telling you how women are, and you as a man going to show up and tell me I'm wrong, and you're going to tell me how women think, and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought I was the one walking around with the birth canal. I thought I was the one that pushed the babies out. I thought I had those parts. You know what I'm saying? I thought I had the same brain wiring as other women that have a birth canal and have the ability to push out babies. You know what I'm saying? I thought my wiring was like their wiring, but clearly y'all have the same wiring as them. You know what I mean? Because y'all sit here and tell me I'm wrong. So obviously y'all got birth canals too. That's how I look at it. You must have the ability to birth a baby just like I do, since you understand women better than I understand women. Have at it. Because obviously your knowledge has been doing you well in life. Your knowledge of women that have birth canals has obviously done you great justice in this world, and that's why you're on my live making inaccurate assumptions. Oh, and y'all still going back and forth about what's going to attract women. All right. I mean, y'all can talk about what's going to attract women. I prefer to center my conversation about what's going to get you a quality woman. See, when y'all have those type of conversations and you talk about, oh, status and all of this is going to attract women, that's going to get you the same type of women that you've been having problems with, right? My conversation and the things that I do in my content is to help those that actually want a quality woman, those that actually want to be in a healthy, functional relationship. Because all that other stuff y'all be talking is very easy for me to see why some of you struggle. And those of you men that like to come argue with me about the way that women think and why women do things when I sit here and explain it, it's extremely easy for me to see why you struggle with women. I'm not even laying in the bed with you and you won't listen to nothing I'm saying, so I know you ain't listening to her. No, you not. Oh, Lord. Please tell me he's not one of them. If so, that just ended the whole conversation right there. I'm definitely not going back and forth if you one of them. That comment is supposed to mean something? Yep, see, watch this. Okay, see, we can do this. Okay. There we go. Had to block that one right quick, because what was the point of that? Stupid. Fucking stupid.
What the hell was that about? So he popped up in somebody else's live, started talking shit, and then say who you talking to.
No, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the comments right before.
Not a real sister. That one too. Shit.
That's why
Oh,
I'm like,
Molly,
what
man,
was
said
even
who
the
you
point
talking
of
to?
that?
Okay.
Like,
I missed. Okay, I missed. Okay, I got confused. Yeah, biracial, not a real sister. What the fuck was the point of that?
what was the point of that? Like, I don't even under that. Whatever. That's why I blocked them. Cause what do
That's
you? Whatever.
bitch ass niggas, boy. I tell you.
Exactly. Exactly.
And you know, I don't know what you said while I was gone. If you tapped on this, but as a man, fellas, come on, man. Come on, man. For real. Like you want somebody to respect you as a man. You want a woman to respect your masculinity, respect your manhood. But you the type of dude that go on people's lives and just talk shit. Go on people's comments, a woman's comments, just to talk shit, not even contribute to the conversation. You flex your money and flex your check. Like you ain't got nothing real going on with you. And we supposed and women supposed to respect it. Men supposed to want to be it. I'm short and fat, and you can kiss my ass. I don't want to be you. Like what the fuck? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And you wonder why women ain't paying you no attention.
I'm telling you, I can always tell. I can always tell. It's
It's
so easy
crazy.
to
You got
decipher.
all this bravado and whatever you got going on and whatever little bit of money you got. Be fucked up with my short fat ass and take your girl. Simple, because I know how to talk to her. Like yeah, y'all so damn lame.
And I've even
God.
talked about that before when I said, men. It's funny because men will get so mad and they quote these statistics and be like, "Oh, 80% of divorces filed by women." Well, why, sir? Why are women filing for divorce? And then men will get, "Oh, they file because they're not happy." Da, da, da. Why is she not happy, sir? And I said this a few weeks ago. I said I was amused how men will judge the next man that a woman gets with based upon how he perceives that next man status, power, and influence to be.
Which
If you
is
feel like, hold on, if you feel like the man she got with is less than you talk shit and be like, "Oh, she went and got with him, da 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 da." But sir, she left you for a man that you deem as less than you?
so. What
But
does that
why?
make you think?
But why? Because usually when women do that, it's because he did the one thing that I keep saying you men don't want to do. He took time to understand her emotions. He took time to give a damn about her heart. And that's why she left you for him. That's why she left you for him. That's why she left you for that man that you think is less than you. That's why she left you for that man that you laughing and calling broke. And she's still happier than she ever was with you.
Which makes him a what?
And see, again, you arguing with me about why women do the things that they do, and I just sat here and told you, and now you sitting here saying, "Oh, they just want titles, they don't want to do the work." Da, 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 da. I don't know what woman says, "I'm gonna marry this man, put my body through hell by birthing his children. I'm gonna spend my days working and coming home and raising these kids and dealing with ungrateful children that don't appreciate anything I do because they don't have the capacity to it. And I'm going to clean up behind this man and cook for him and do all the things that it takes me to do to run a house. And I'm going to do all of this. I'm going to tear my body up because birthing a baby does so many things to a woman's body. I'm going to do all of that just so in 10, 15 years, I can say, I'm not happy. I want a divorce." Yes, we planned that out. We sat here at 20 years old and said, "You know what? I'm going to spend the next 15 years of my life with this man miserable because I don't want to put in the work for the marriage." No, sir. If women are leaving because they're not happy, the question is, why are they not happy? And the reason why is because a lot of men do not check in with their wives and provide that emotional safe space. They don't give a damn about their wife's emotions. Is the main reason why women leave men. But y'all refuse to hear that. You refuse to accept it. You refuse to see that because you want to keep telling yourself whatever you want to tell yourself. When the fact of the matter is, you don't know how to deal with a woman's emotions effectively in a way that she can receive it. You keep wanting her to receive it in the way that you want to give it, and it's never going to happen that way. Never. So you can argue with me all you want, but at the end of the day, you yourself apparently had to get a passport and go to another country for your woman. Why? Probably because you still couldn't figure out the ones here in your own damn country. And you ain't going to figure it out with her either. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get your ass up out of here because I ain't got time for your bullshit no more. I've had enough. Good night. Out of here. Not doing this shit with you.
Oh my God.
He said 80% filed for divorce, so it's all men's fault. Did I say it's all men's fault? I said if 80% are filing for divorce, wouldn't you want to know why? Would you not want to look into that and investigate? Well, why?
If all else, if for no other reason, it at least deserves a looking into. At the very least.
And he was all through. I could see some of these, but I'm like, seriously? And you still gonna sit here and try to argue with me? Hilarious.
Trying to justify his need for a passport, that's all.
Our mothers never complained. Are you sure about that? Because I tell you what, I have worked as a nurse for a long time, and I've worked geriatrics, and I will tell you one thing about it. You know what the old women tell the young women? To leave y'all the hell alone. Old women tell the young women not to put up with y'all. Old women tell the young women not to get married. I promise you they do. I've had so many old women tell me to just not be bothered with men and live my life so that I don't have to deal with the things that they dealt with. Are you crazy? You think your mothers didn't complain? You just never heard her complain. She told her daughter not to do it. You didn't hear the conversation. But they for damn sure tell us younger women to not deal with y'all. They surely complain. They surely complain. Oh, look. Okay, watch this. Good night to you too.
What they do? Tag? What did they go tag some more and tell them to come in?
I don't know. But I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth. How the hell you know your mother ain't never complained? Just because you ain't hear your mama complain don't mean she never complained. The hell
We
you
said,
mean? I have
we said,
worked for...
man, tell you something. I'll be a lying ass if I said I ain't never complained about my kids.
Look, my mom and grandma. No, we ain't talking about just kids. We talking about how women literally tell younger women, don't get married. Wait to get married. Leave these men alone. Go live your life because a man's going to expect you to tie yourself to him. All the older women in the nursing homes have told me time and time and time again, live your life. Leave that man alone. He's going to stop your dreams. I'm telling you, older women tell younger women not to go deal with men. And I don't even mean because y'all gonna be like, oh, that's the bitter ones. No, baby. I'm talking about women that were married their entire life and now their husband passed away and they're still living and they will still sit here and tell younger women, baby, don't do it. Go live your life. Go live your life. Don't tie yourself down to a man. Don't put your hopes and dreams on hold for a man. If you think these older women ain't telling younger women to leave men the hell alone, and not just the single ones, married women too, yes, they are.
Could that not create another problem, though?
But wait a minute. Understand the reason why they're telling younger women not to do that is because the man never gave a damn about her emotions. The man never gave a damn about how grandma felt. And grandma didn't have no choice but to suck that shit up and deal with it, knowing that man ain't give a damn about her emotions. But grandma couldn't go nowhere. Grandma couldn't file for divorce. So grandma didn't have no choice. She couldn't complain. Well, nothing she could do about her situation. But she warned her daughters. Don't put yourself in the same situation.
I'm not denying that part. I'm not debating that part. I'm just asking, could that not create another issue, though?
It could, but then at the same time, You could fix it if the men would listen. Because the whole reason why grandma said that is the exact same thing that I'm sitting here telling men right now. It's the exact same thing I'm telling men right now is the exact reason why most of these women are sitting here telling you don't. And it was all because, and look, another man want to come tell me I'm wrong about women. It amazes me. Y'all will make broad statements about women all the time, but women make broad statements about men. Oh, that's a broad statement. That's a broad statement. That doesn't apply to everybody. Again, because you must have just joined in because I ain't seen your name in the comments. Just because y'all ain't heard grandma complain. The same way how grandpa didn't have the same conversation with his granddaughter that he did with his grandson. Grandma ain't had them same conversations with you that she had with us. So you can sit here and tell me, but I know what I know. And I've talked with enough older women, and I've had more than enough older women in their 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s tell me this shit time and time and time again. And not just black women. I'm talking about women from every race. When I was working out in Minnesota, the older women out there too would tell me, baby, enjoy your life. Don't tie yourself to a man. So y'all keep telling me I'm wrong. And it's like, dog, this ain't even just black women. This is women across the board. I've taken care of women from every race, and they all have said the same thing in their old age. So you can argue it down all you want to, but at the end of the day, the same reason why grandma told her daughters and her granddaughters to live her life and don't tie yourself so quick to a man is the exact same reason why I'm telling you men right now that you struggle in your relationships with women. Because your granddaddy didn't know a damn thing about grandma's emotions and caring about her heart. And you don't know a damn thing about a woman's emotions and caring about her heart. And that's why these women don't want to follow your lead. You're going to lead her into a lifetime of fucking pain. And she gets tired of that pain after 10, 15 years. She gets tired of feeling alone in the marriage after 10, 15 years. She gets tired of feeling isolated after 10, 15 years. She gets tired of feeling like you don't give a fuck about her after 10, 15 years. And she says, you know what? Any life would be better than staying in this life with you. Any life would be better than staying in this house and this marriage with you. I don't know what else is out there, but what I know is I'm fucking miserable with you. And I would much rather be anywhere but in this marriage with your ass. Because I'm tired of this fucking life of pain that you led me into. Because I wasn't smart enough to not deal with you when I realized that you didn't understand my emotions and didn't give a fuck about protecting them. So, I've really had about enough of y'all on this topic. I ain't gonna lie to you. This topic right here, because this is the fucking problem when it comes to men and women, as far as where women are concerned. This is the problem. And y'all keep trying to fight me on it. Y'all keep trying to tell me, no, that's not my responsibility. Blah, 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 blah. You can tell me whatever the fuck you want to. What I ain't is wrong. You can tell me whatever you want to. And you can hold on to that shit all you want to. And you're going to keep on getting the same results over and over and over again. And I don't give a damn which fucking country you run to. You still going to keep getting the same damn results because you ain't learned the damn lesson. I can be colorful. I mean, usually I try to keep it calm. But, you know, they really kind of irk my nerves today because they do it every single time. And it's wild because they'll turn around and go talk shit about women and be like, women don't never listen and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And they get mad when women do the exact same thing that they sitting here doing. Y'all go tell women how men feel, and then the women be like, that's not true, da-da-da-da-da. And then you get mad about it. But you do the same shit because you don't want to listen. You just want to keep validating what you think is right because then you don't have to work on yourself. Because then you don't have to be better. Because then you don't have to grow. So again, you can hold on to that shit as much as you want to. But at the end of the day, if you as a man are not going to take the time to learn about a woman and learn her emotions and understand how a woman's emotions work, stop fucking complaining about what you get from women. And on that same token, if you as a woman are not going to take the time to understand men and understand what respect means to a man and how that plays out in a relationship, stop fucking complaining about the results that you're getting from men. This shit all comes back down to your choices and your personal behavior and whether or not you choose to work on yourself to be better as a damn human being. Again, unrealistic expectations. Because y'all asses refuse to fucking work on yourselves. You refuse to be better. You will come up with every excuse there is as to why you can't do something or why something is the way it is. Anything that prevents you from having to fix yourself. You got women telling me, well, I'm going to go get me a white man. You're going to have the same damn problems over there. Because you still ain't learned what the hell respect look like to that man. I'm going to go get me a passport and go to Brazil. You're going to have the same damn problems over there. Because you don't know how to deal with nobody's emotions. So, y'all be getting on my damn nerves with this shit. Then y'all be coming in here talking real loud. And you ain't talking about shit because you don't know what the hell you talking about. Because if you did, your ass wouldn't be the one struggling in relationships. So, now y'all got me worked up now. The elite are repopulating at a better rate than everybody else. Man, listen. We ain't even going to get into that conversation. I'm going to leave that one be. But as I was saying a while ago when I was going to end this live, this is what I was trying to get to when you went to the bathroom, AJ. So I was going to wait till you came back before I ended the live. I check on my girl 3 to 4 times a day. They call it simping. I call it being responsible. Hey, listen. I'm trying to tell you. I bet you a lot of men will call my man a simp. I bet you they would call my man a simp. But at the same time, they would want everything that I do for this man. And it's wild. Right? Like my man, he don't have to cook. I cook because I want to. I enjoy cooking. But I cook for him. I make his plates. I take him his plates. Like, you know what I'm saying? I take care of him just as well as he takes care of me. And it's wild because men would call him a simp. But you want what he gets in return. But he gets that from me because of the way that he treats me. He gets that from me because he took the time to understand me, to learn me, to give a damn about my emotions. So he gets that from me. So in return, because he takes care of me and he takes care of my heart, I take care of him and I take care of his heart. Because that's how that works. But y'all think a woman gonna go out here and take care of your heart and you never took care of hers? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Do I give a damn about my man's emotions? What? What? Let me tell you something. Because I know you probably just trying to be petty and be a troll. I know you are, but that's okay. So last weekend, I was working on some stuff, so I was a little stressed out. I was a little moody, when he asked me a question and it irritated me. And I snapped. He said, all right, I'm going to let you be. I'm going to let you finish your work. I know you're doing your stuff. I said, okay. I went back to my work, but I kept thinking about our conversation. I was like, damn. That was rude as hell. The tone of voice I had when I was talking to him, like, that was rude as hell. I took my stress and my irritation on what I was working on. I took it out on him. And so when I talked to him later on that evening, when I got done with my project, I called him that evening and I said, hey, the way I talked to you earlier, I apologize. That was very rude. I didn't have to say it to you like that. I said, now granted, I did mean what I said to you, but I didn't have to say it the way that I said it. That was very rude and I'm sorry. And he said, well, I appreciate the fact that you recognize that because I was going to bring it up to you, but I know that you were busy with your project and I didn't want to distract you from that, but I was going to bring it up to you later. He said, because I didn't appreciate the way you spoke to me. I said, and I realized it was wrong and I'm sorry. So when you come up here and you try to be petty and ask me, do I care about my man's emotions? Baby, go play that game somewhere else. Go play that game with the little girls, okay? Because I'm grown over here. Go play that somewhere else where they still argue about 50-50 and making plates and who's cooking and cleaning, okay? Go play somewhere else.
Is a yes or no question. You came to our lives. We have lives to have conversations. How the fuck are you gonna ask a question in the comments and then when somebody answer it, you say it was a yes or no question? Sir, go do your own fucking live if you wanted to be like that. You came on our shit.
And how you gonna ask me a question and then tell me how I have to answer it?
Go start your own live and you can dictate that. What the fuck kind of shit?
Yes. Well, you know, we get all types over here. We get all types.
Ooh, call yourself grown and shit.
Oh no, those are the ones that like to beat their chest and complain about why women won't submit. But again, what did I say? Look at how you carry yourself, even online. Look at how y'all act. And you really think women are going to respond to that type of behavior when y'all act like fucking high schoolers?
You can agree to disagree, but it's a grown way to do that. Damn.
I'm telling you, because the only thing worse that's an immature woman and a childish ass acting woman is a man that acts like a childish ass woman. Way worse. Way worse. Oh, I didn't say how you had to answer it, and I'm grown. Well, then act like it. Act like it. Speak like it. Speak like it. Because grown folks also understand that when you are texting things, that you cannot hear tone in text. So when you text things, you should text it in a way in which you're going to convey your thoughts without disrespect or without offense. Because that's part of effective communication. Okay? Because, you know, your stuff can still come across as disrespectful, even in a message, which is why it's important to know words, because words have various meanings. So if you're specific with your words, then your intention of your message should come across that way without the disrespect. You know what I'm saying? It's called communication, effective communication. Many people lack that. Yes. Some of these men expect traditional women, but they're not traditional themselves. That's what I said. Whole life has been about unrealistic expectations on both sides. On both sides. Sir, check this out, right? I didn't invite you here. You popped up in my live. And the very first thing you said was, do you respect your man's emotions? That's the very first thing you said, sir. So you came at me a funny type of way because you could have typed that in a more respectful type of way, right? So you invited yourself here. I didn't ask you to watch my live, nor did I ask you to type anything in that comment section. You did that. So you set the tone for how I was going to respond or receive your question or receive your whatever you wrote in the comments. You set the tone for that when you typed it out. So if you didn't mean it as disrespect, or if you didn't mean it in an ill-mannered way, then you should have been a little bit more clear when you wrote that, because that, again, is called effective communication, sir. Okay? Now, I'm not doing this with y'all. I told y'all already. She's got that grown woman energy. Because I tell you all the time, one thing I don't do is disrespect. I don't do disrespect. I'm a very respectful person. So when you come at me a certain way, oh, I'm going to get you together real quick and I'm going to dismiss you. And again, you invited yourself here, sir. But that's okay. You came, and I'm going to go ahead and see you out. So, have a nice night. I'm not going to keep going back and forth with a man that don't lay in my bed next to me. And I don't even go back and forth with that man. So I for damn sure don't give a damn about a penis I ain't sitting on. And never will. Understand that. Never will. I will never arrive at a care for any of y'all. So I was already ending this. I don't even know where AJ went to, but I don't know what happened with AJ. But the gentleman had asked me in one of the comments about doing a live on healing and like what healing looks like and the healing process, because I specifically did the video about the importance of healing for fathers. And what I said in that particular video, okay. So what I said in that particular video was from our live a few weeks ago where I was speaking specifically about dads and daughters. But I was saying that as a father of a daughter specifically, you set the tone for the type of man your daughter's going to date, right? So the way that you treat the women around you, the way that you speak to the women around you, the way that you treat your daughter, whether or not you have taken the time to learn and understand your daughter's emotions, if you take the time to make sure that your daughter feels loved, all of this is going to set the tone for the type of man that she's going to end up dating. So I was saying how it's so important for fathers to heal because you are setting the example of what a man is for your daughter, right? And so the gentleman had asked me to do a live conversation on healing. You know, he's like, I don't have a daughter, but I have sons. And, and I was like, okay, I already knew we were doing unrealistic expectations this week. So I told him that next week I will do that. Next week, that will be the topic. We will just discuss healing and childhood traumas and, things like that, like how it can manifest, how your childhood traumas can play out in life, what certain experiences in childhood, what the different pathways that can lead to, how you might see that. So that's what we will do next week. I will go over healing and kind of what that looks like and, kind of how to start the process within yourself. So yeah, that's going to be it for next week. I don't know. AJ went out again, but I'm about to get off here anyway. So I'm not going to bring him back in because we're ending this today. And as you can see, my throat is now sore since I had to fuss and cuss at these unnecessary people in my live tonight. Got my throat hurting and So we're going to end this so I can go make some hot tea. But next week, the discussion, it will be healing and childhood traumas and, just trying to kind of help you identify that and help you identify things that might have happened in your own life and to kind of help you see how that might have played out over the years and even might have played out in your relationships. So that'll be next week. Getting off of here for now. Thursdays, we do our lives every Thursday at 9:30. So that's it. I'll see you next week for healing and childhood traumas. Y'all have a good night.